Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, today is Zoro's birthday and I wanted to make a special video dedicated to him. I've been into One Piece for less than a year, but even before I met Zoro, I knew I would love him. Literally just by taking one glance at him, before even watching any clips of him, I knew that he would be one of my favorite characters. Here's an Instagram story I posted for validation when I first started watching One Piece. And honestly, like, this is probably cringy as fuck, but I wish he was real because I would really want to have him as a friend. Zoro, in my opinion, is just an admirable and respectable person. I would call him the ideal man, but he's still not perfect, obviously, because no character is perfect. But I still think he has a lot of good core qualities that I believe a man should have. For one, he is reserved when it comes to emotions, but he does cry. 2, he has a childish heart and has a sense of humor, at least pre-time skip. He knows when to be serious, but he also has moments where he goofs off. He's incredibly determined, he doesn't treat women differently than men. He's respectful, he's a good friend. And I could go on and on, but I'll save that for when we get further into this video. Zoro has actually motivated me to start working out again, although I haven't worked out in like weeks because I got discouraged and I also got really lazy, so I really need to get back on track with that. I feel like Zoro would be really disappointed in me. So yeah, even though I've been into One Piece for less than a year, it's had quite a big impact on me. Making Zoro's swords and his Haramaki was the first time I actually finished a cosplay project myself without giving up. And one of my swords is currently broken, and so I'm really pissed about that, so I'm probably going to remake it someday. I was him for Halloween. I also wore him to New York Comic Con, where I was lucky enough to meet Christopher Zabit, who is the English voice actor for Zoro. Unfortunately, I only got to meet him briefly when we took a picture together. You could reserve a spot to take a photo with the One Piece voice actors, however, you could not reserve a spot for an autograph, and when I tried to go on his line was so fucking crowded, and they were behind on schedule, so they told me that they weren't letting anyone else in. I don't remember exactly what he said to me, but I remember him saying, "Oh, Zoro, it's good to see you," or something along those lines. I'm lucky I got to meet him, but I really wish that I got to talk to him at his table because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to say, and I also made a gift for him that I never got to give to him. Hopefully I'll meet him again someday so I can have a conversation with him and give him his gift. It's funny because when I was talking to Christopher, like, he sounded exactly like Zoro, and like before you say, "Oh, like, no shit," like obviously a voice actor is gonna sound like the character they voice. Like, I mean, like, his speaking voice, like, he didn't have to change the way he talked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how, like, a lot of voice actors, like, they don't really sound like the characters they voice. They have to actually, like, do the voice. Christopher Sabat just sounds so much like Zoro.
I was starving too, but I was also completely out of money. I'm glad I ran into you.
Zoro's basically just my voice, and I say, "Luffy, you're an idiot," or "I hate you, Sanji," and then it somehow makes you think I'm doing Zoro's voice.
But anyway, I'm sorry, this intro was kind of long, but before we get into the video, there's just one more thing I want to say. The day I'm releasing this video, it is Zoro's birthday, obviously, but November 11th is also Veterans Day. Even if you're watching this video after Veterans Day, if you know a veteran, if they are a family member or a friend or whatever, make sure to acknowledge and thank them for their service. Even if it's a random stranger who's a veteran standing online in front of you waiting to order food or something, don't be afraid to thank them for their service. I'm sure they would appreciate it. But anyways, with all that aside, let's get into the video. So it would only make sense to start at the very beginning with Romance Dawn. And believe it or not, this is actually one of my favorite One Piece arcs. It's only 3 episodes long, like... But honestly, I tend to prefer the more chill and simple arcs of One Piece. A lot of the times I just want to see my favorite characters. I don't want to have to worry about a big complicated storyline. I'm not saying quote-unquote complicated plot points can't be interesting, but I don't know. Just me personally, I really appreciated the simplicity of this arc. And I think the main reason why I love this arc so much is because I just love Luffy and Zoro so much. I'm gonna get more into their friendship towards the end of this video, but if you're in my Discord server or if you watched my original Zoro video, you would know that I am absolutely obsessed with these two. I absolutely love their friendship. I personally see them as brothers. Their friendship is just so fucking sweet and wholesome. Especially in these first episodes, I just love the way they interact with each other. It's just really interesting to see how Zoro, somebody who's worked solo and isn't really the most trusting person, and despite not liking to follow orders, he immediately opened up to Luffy and was willing to join his crew.
And after that, I'll accomplish what I want.
Yeah, that's great. But I've already decided that you're going to be on my crew.
What? You can't do that!
Here, you're one of the best swordsmen around.
Well, I am! But that idiot Captain Sun took mine away.
Guess I'll just have to go get it back for you.
What?
So if you want your sword, you're just gonna have to join my crew.
Now you're really pissing me off! Wait, he's actually gonna bust in there alone? Hey, genius! The base is in the other direction.
Huh? Gong, rocket!
So let's do it.
So you're finally gonna join my crew! This is the best thing ever!
Quit celebrating already and get these ropes off me!
Thank you.
I'm just doing my job, Captain.
Even after Zoro realized that Luffy was a bigger idiot than he thought when Luffy tells him that Zoro is the only person on his crew so far and that they have a small boat, Zoro still stayed with him.
But we'll have an enormous one before long. Just you wait and see.
And how's that?
Rewatching Romance Dawn, I almost appreciated it more because, like, yeah, it's supposed to be played off for laughs, like, haha, Luffy doesn't know what he's doing, but the fact that Zoro stayed with him despite all of this was just really, really wholesome. I just really love their friendship. Like, I don't know, I'm probably reading too far into this, but Zoro just seems so much more calm and comfortable when it's just him and Luffy. Like, look at them, like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking cry, dude.
At last, our pirate crew finally set sail!
I got the feeling some interesting adventures are waiting for us.
I'll be king of the pirates. I know it.
I know that Zoro gets a lot more serious after time skip, but I think a lot of people forget that Zoro really is a kid at heart. Him and Luffy are very similar people. Zoro just doesn't really show off his goofy side as much as Luffy does. Fun fact, Zoro was the only crew member in the Straw Hats that Luffy actually set out to recruit before meeting him. Their instant friendship is honestly really wholesome, again, because like I said before, Zoro isn't really the type of person that would trust just anyone. Seeing them fight alongside each other was really wholesome as well. I already liked Zoro before this, like I said, but as soon as I heard his story and why he was tied up, I immediately fell in love with his character. The fact that he was willing to go through so much for a girl that he just met is just really respectable and sweet. Zoro is more of a person of action, not words. He's not the type of person to outwardly say that he cares about someone. He proves that he cares about people through his actions. And him doing this was clear proof that he cared about this little girl and her mother despite not knowing them for very long. And I don't know if this happens in the manga, but I love this scene in the anime. Like look how happy he is. Like, I swear to God, Zoro is so fucking cute.
Whew, I am stuffed. Having not eaten for 3 weeks, I was ready to gnaw through my bootstraps.
That's another thing that I will get more into later. Zoro is really resilient. He bounces back from negative situations rather quickly. He does this after his defeat with Mihawk and after the little garden situation. After almost dying and fighting for his life, he's still smiling and happy. He's able to sit here and smile like this just a couple of minutes later. I really love Zoro's cheerful personality. I think it's adorable, and I also think it's admirable how fast he's able to move on from hardship. Overall, Romance Dawn has always had a special place in my heart. It's a really simple arc, and I will admit, the reason why I like it so much is probably just because I'm biased, because I just love Luffy and Zoro's friendship so much. But I really did like this arc. I feel like there's a lot to appreciate about it upon rewatch.
I'm actually impressed you made it on board. Are you trying to kill us?
Stop the boat now. The 3 of us are members of Buggy the Clown's pirate crew. This boat is ours now.
Huh?
I'm sorry, we had no idea you were the famous pirate hunter Zoro. Please forgive us.
Thanks to you 3 idiots, I lost sight of my friend. So just keep paddling.
Yes, sir.
And I also really liked the next arc, Orangetown. I still think I like Romance Dawn a little bit more than Orangetown, but it is pretty close. My love for Orangetown is probably mostly due to my personal bias because I just love Luffy and Zoro so much. Well, obviously Nami enters the picture here too, but she doesn't join the crew until later. So technically right now it still is just Luffy and Zoro. But speaking of Nami, another great scene from Zoro in Orangetown is when he saves her when Buggy's crew was going to attack her.
Hey now. It's not very nice of you guys to gang up on the poor girl.
Zoro!
You hurt? I said, are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, I think.
Again, Nami's a girl that Zoro just met, but he goes out of his way to protect her. And something I like about Zoro is, like I mentioned before, he doesn't treat women differently. Zoro does not belittle women, he does not coddle them, he doesn't treat them like they're weaker or less than men, but he's also able to acknowledge the fact that an entire group of men ganging up on a singular weaker girl isn't right. That's what I like about Zoro is he has morals, he understands that a man should respect women, but not to the point where it's treating that woman like they're weak. This is where my heart starts to clench.
What do you find so damn funny?
Zoro! Buggy's still alive!
What the hell?
I just felt so bad for him here. And it gets even worse later when Zoro saves Luffy from Kabaji and ends up getting himself injured, and then Kabaji mocks him. It's really sad. Like, he just looks so sad. Like, I don't like seeing him in pain. It's very sad.
Hey, Zoro, you really should get some rest. Let me handle this guy.
Just stay back.
That's the stab wound the captain inflicted on him. The fool. Arsonist technique! What's wrong? I didn't kick you that hard enough, did I?
He fights dirty, going after his injury like that.
Acrobat technique? Murder at the steam bath!
Acrobat my ass. That's just an ordinary dust cloud.
He did it again!
What's this? It's such a disgraceful sight to see a grown man moaning. I suppose now you can see how foolish it was to make an enemy of the buggy pirates.
To keep fighting with such a bad injury, he's crazy.
But again, seeing Zoro's resilience and inner and outer strength in this fight was really something special.
You having fun poking in my wound? Then go ahead.
Ouchie! Why didn't you dodge his attack?
Is that enough of a handicap for you? And now let me show you just how superior my skills are to yours.
Yeah, Zoro, get him!
Fool, you've made a vast error in judgment. I won't be mocked.
My swords aim to be the world's greatest. I refuse to lose even once to anyone who calls himself a swordsman.
I see. A strong resolve keeps you going. But have no fear. Wounds as bad as yours will be more than enough of an excuse for losing to me.
To hell with that. If I lose to someone like you, even with these minimal injuries, then I don't have a very bright future ahead of me, do I?
Why, you...
All right, yeah!
I also really love the scene after where Zoro falls asleep on the battlefield. I am so disappointed that they didn't put it in the live action.
We aren't petty thieves. We're pirates. Luffy, I'm going to sleep.
Good.
And then there's another really great scene from Zoro that I absolutely love, when despite being injured and clearly in a lot of pain, he carries Luffy to safety.
Are you okay, Zoro? How bad are you injured?
Just shut up and don't worry about how I'm doing. I need to concentrate if I'm going to get us out of this.
I'm not so sure about that. Who are you guys, anyway?
Move. You're in the way.
I guess even a lowly pirate can still rescue his friend.
Every time I watch this scene, it just hurts my heart. Like, the voice acting is so good. Like, Zoro sounds like he's in so much pain, and just seeing all the blood, and I swear to God, I feel so bad for Zoro. To think that someone like Zoro, who really doesn't trust people that easily, was willing to go this far for somebody he just met like a day ago or a few days ago. I don't really know how much time has passed, but these two haven't known each other for very long, and Zoro is still so loyal to Luffy and pushes himself like this to make sure Luffy is okay. I fucking love the friendship between these two. It is so wholesome. Even Nami, who hates pirates in the beginning, is touched by his actions. I swear though, Zoro really needs to be more careful. Although he is very selfless, Zoro is also very stubborn as well. He tells Luffy not to worry about the pain that he's in and tells Nami to get out of his way. It's likely just because he doesn't want to be seen as weak, is too stubborn to ask for help, and puts the needs of others before his own, not wanting anyone to worry about him. Also, I love the fact that the mayor of the town is like, your injuries look pretty bad, you should see a doctor. And Zoro's like, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm just gonna sleep it off. Like, I love this man so much.
How's Zoro?
I told him he really should see a doctor, but he insisted that he didn't need to and just wanted to sleep it off.
Zoro just does not care. He's cheated death so many times at this point, including a few minutes later when the building Zoro's in blows up and he somehow manages to survive.
Zoro, you in there? Are you still alive?
That's one hell of a way to wake a guy up. I could have used a few more Z's.
How did you survive that blast? Oh, right! You're alive!
And seeing Luffy all happy that Zoro survived the blast is really wholesome. I also just love the fact that Zoro is already willing to fight again after everything he just went through.
Well, in that case...
You're gonna go too? You're wounded!
Yeah, Yeah, so what? The injury to my reputation's a lot worse than the injury to my gut.
He really does have such a strong spirit. What's not to love? I also love the fact later where Zoro laughs at Luffy's antics despite being injured. This is the scene where Zoro and Nami escape with Luffy after Luffy tells the residents of Orangetown that they are pirates. And Zoro laughs at this. Sorry to repeat myself, that's another thing I love about Zoro is he's a kid at heart. Him and Luffy really are so similar. Well, for one, he's injured and is still able to smile and laugh like this. And two, it just shows you how much he's enjoying himself in Luffy's company. Like, he just looks so happy here.
Die, you know! I don't care! And if you do that again, I really will throw you in the ocean!
Hey, you! Huh? A musician?
So stupid.
So now we're gonna move on to Syrup Village. This is an arc I have less to say about, but I still enjoy a lot of Zoro moments here nonetheless. One of my favorite Zoro scenes in this arc is he plays a trick on the Usopp pirates with the rest of the crew.
We ate him.
You just had to say something stupid, didn't you?
Again, I just really love Zoro's sense of humor, and as always, it's nice to hear him laugh. Again, like, this just shows you that even though Zoro is more reserved and serious, he still has moments where he goofs off and acts like a kid. And I just really like that. I think it's really wholesome. I also really love the friendship between Usopp and Zoro. I think people forget that Zoro was the one who invited Usopp on the crew in the first place, and he was the first one to tell Usopp that he admired his strength and good heart.
What are you talking about? Get on already.
Huh? We're friends, right? So get on.
This is it! I'm really a pirate captain now!
Don't be stupid, Usopp! I'm the captain!
You're a hell of a good guy, sending your cronies away and going into battle alone.
And hearing that from Zoro has to be such an honor. I think a lot of people have a misconception that Zoro looks down on people who are quote-unquote weaker than he is. And maybe he does, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really that far into One Piece yet, so maybe I should shut my mouth and wait until I watch more. But from what I've seen, I mean, he really doesn't. I mean, maybe in his head he's silently judging them, but he never expressed any distastefulness for Usopp being one of the quote-unquote weaker members. Again, like I said, he was literally the one who invited Usopp on the crew in the first place. That's another thing I absolutely love about Zoro is his kindness and his heart. The thing with Zoro is I definitely think he has a bit of an ego, but at the same time, he also is very self-critical and also insecure. He's confident in his abilities and his strength for the most part, but at the same time, he doesn't look down on those who are weaker than him. It's just kind of refreshing for such a strong character inside and out who doesn't look down on other people who are weaker than they are. Another scene that I really like in this arc is Zoro against the Miyabon brothers, specifically when he saves Nami and Usopp.
Let's go! This is our chance!
You're supposed to shoot at the bad guys, you idiot!
But I did! It was like he moved in front of my shot on purpose.
But why would he do that?
You dumbass! Don't help me! You wanna die?
It's just a thought, but maybe it's the two of us who just got saved. If you had actually hit one of those guys, they would have come after us instead. And we wouldn't have had a chance of holding up against that.
What guy? All this time he was worried about us.
First of all, Zoro's quick thinking and bravery to make such a quick decision like this really is admirable, and it's just so sweet how he was willing to do all of this for two people that he didn't even know that well. And yes, obviously, I also do believe that his stubbornness and not wanting to ask for help has something to do with this as well, but it was mostly out of the kindness of his heart. The way Zoro cares about people is just really, really sweet. It just goes to show how good of a guy Zoro really is. Even though he just met Usopp, and even though Nami pushed him down the oil so she could get up, he still saved them. Which is a hilarious scene, by the way. I fucking love this scene. I am so disappointed that they didn't put this in the live action.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah! Help, I'm gonna fall!
Let go, you moron!
Sorry! Hello? See you there! Sorry, but you understand the treasure's in danger! The oil won't be a problem for you, right?
That girl's gonna pay! supposed to get past this stuff. Nami, if you're still alive when I get out of here, I'm gonna kill you! Take that oil! Now, how do I get to the North Shore from here?
I swear, I don't care what anyone says. I love this English dub, especially Christopher Sabat. Christopher Sabat is such a great voice actor. But anyways, the fact that Zoro was still willing to save Nami, even though Nami did something pretty selfish to him just a few minutes before, I swear, I just love Zoro. He is so freaking sweet. The way he's willing to go through so much pain for his friends really just is so admirable. But it also just makes me really sad for him. I mean, it makes me sad to see any character in pain, but because Zoro is my favorite, it just hurts a little more. I don't know, this probably sounds cringy, but like, I kind of just want to hug Zoro. Like, I don't know.
You still don't get it.
He took down the Meowbomb brothers with one attack!
Don't worry. I can promise you, everything will be taken care of in less than 5 minutes.
So now moving on to Bartier, before anything, I have to mention this adorable scene.
Hold on. I think that's our business, isn't that right?
Oh boy! This is gonna be so good!
You know, I have to say the food here really is quite delicious. Good stuff. Yes, it is. I feel bad for you, but you should be drinking this yourself! Yeah, well, I can't believe you did that!
First of all, again, Zoro smiling and laughing is always adorable. But again, I also love the fact how he's joking around with the crew like this. I just love it when Zoro acts like a kid. He's not just some cool, stoic, badass swordsman like a lot of people have said he is. He has a personality outside of that, and it's an adorable one. Then there's the major thing in this arc, which I already know I'm gonna have so much to say about, so strap in. Zoro versus Mihawk.
Luffy, can you hear me? I'm sorry for disappointing you. I know that you need nothing less than the greatest swordsman in the world. I've let you down. Please forgive me.
Okay, you can stop saying things now! Hey, bro!
I solemnly swear, from this moment forward, that I will never lose again. Until the day comes when I defeat him and take his title. I will never be defeated! Is that okay? King of the Pirates!
Yep.
You're a good team. I hope to see you again.
I seriously wish that I could go back and remember what my reaction was to this scene because I genuinely forget. I watched this shit so long ago. I know that it stabbed me in the heart, but I forget exactly how I reacted to it. Seeing Zoro cry is one thing, but the fact that it was so early on, the fact that he was putting himself down, the fact that he made this vow to Luffy so early on while he was crying, like everything combined just makes this scene so much better and so much worse for my heart at the same time. Zoro's dedication and bravery and care for Kuina and wanting to keep her dream alive is really, really sweet. And seeing how dedicated he was into fulfilling their promise was incredibly admirable, but also very sad. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think that Zoro got too cocky and that was his downfall. Seeing him doubt himself and put himself down like this was still really sad. Zoro usually portrays himself as somebody content, sometimes cheerful when he's with his friends, as someone who's brave and doesn't really show a lot of emotion, so seeing him break down like this, especially so early on in the series, was really surprising and made it that much more impactful. As much as I hate this scene, I also love it at the same time. I really love the fact that Zoro is portrayed as a realistic 19-year-old and as a realistic man. He tries to hide his emotions and appear strong, but he still has these moments of doubt. He has these moments where he cries. As sad as it is to see, it makes me respect him a lot more. And his words to Luffy here, It's just so sweet to see how much Zoro loves and trusts Luffy. Again, the friendship that these two have is just so fucking wholesome. I know that all of the Straw Hats are family, but like these two especially, like I don't even have the words to describe how much I love their bond. Again, like I said, Zoro is usually a man of action, not words, so the fact that he expressed his feelings like this and opened himself up to Luffy with words shows you just how damn much he cared about him. And seeing Luffy all petty and mad at Mihawk after Mihawk kicked Zoro's ass was also really funny. But I want to try to move on as quick as I can because I have so much to talk about. But the last thing I'll say about this scene is something that I've already mentioned in my other Zoro video. I really don't like the fact that people say, oh, like Zoro was never the same after his fight with Mihawk. He was so sad after he lost to Mihawk, he lost his smile. Like, no the fuck he didn't. Sure, Zoro definitely laughs less after this fight, I'll give you that, but he does not lose that adorable smile of his. He still smiles a lot and jokes around a lot, even soon after this fight. He's still the same old fun-loving, adorable, spirited guy we all know and love. And that isn't to say that the Mihawk fight had no impact on him. I'm just saying he bounced back from it very quickly. Zoro doesn't let these kinds of setbacks stand in his way. He had an emotional moment, he cried, and then he moved through it. His inner strength really is just so amazing and inspiring, and the fact that he's able to continue to be his same old self even after something like that had happened to him. It warmed my heart to see him right back to his old self in the next arc. And speaking of the next arc, holy shit, I have a lot to talk about with this one too.
Let's attack.
But I just said we shouldn't do anything stupid! What? Attack, you idiot! We know nothing about this place! Yeah, these guys are the fishmen! We need some kind of plan to do that!
While the two of you are busy blabbering and wimping out, I'm placing my thoughts on the battle we're about to face. Luffy told me to bring her back, and I'll do just that. Let's go!
There it is! Ha! Found it! The Going Merry! It's right over there! Then she has to be on the island somewhere. We just have to find her!
What do you think you're doing? Would you idiots untie me? I am not the enemy! Untie me, damn it!
Zoro, you're way too bad to be of any help when we go ashore. Just sit tight and relax. It's okay. Rest up. You can help next time.
One of these days I'm gonna skewer him like a piece of meat!
This is one of my favorite scenes. I just love the fact that Zoro is so willing to fight. Despite being dealt this serious injury and losing so much blood, he still wanted to fight and was so adamant about it, and I just... I love this scene. Hold on. I love it.
Do not yell at me!
It's... like, it's not even that funny, but like, it's just so funny to me. Cause he got so mad. He was like, do not yell at me! Motherfucker, you're the only one yelling! Like... I swear, oh my god. I love him, he is so stupid, but anyway, moving on.
There's just this one guy?
Maybe he just drifted here from real far out or something.
Yeah, right. Those guys are dead and they don't even know it.
Maybe somebody just wanted him to die real slow.
I think we should take him to our law.
Forgive me, Zoro. I will tell Luffy that you were courageous to the bitter end. Please forgive me, Zoro. I'll never forget you. Okay, now let's find some land.
I felt so bad for him when Johnny and Usopp just left him here. As much as I love Usopp, and I know that this scene was mostly for comedic effect, I felt really bad for Zoro here. But I mean, to be fair, it did give us a pretty cool scene of him and Nami.
I would just admit defeat and try to forget the day you met her.
I don't need to. Because I never saw anything in her to be trusted in the first place. If she turned out to be a serial killer, I wouldn't be surprised.
Fine, then why don't you just get the hell out of here? I'm tired of your face.
Get back up.
She saved him.
What do you think you're doing?
No, what do you think you're doing? You're really just a nice girl who can't watch one guy die. Why don't you quit pretending?
And you might want to jump on a little quicker next time. I thought it was dead.
Oh, you bastard! Try that again and I'll make sure you die.
Really?
I really love the fact that Zoro was able to see through Nami's facade, and even went out of his way to test her by almost drowning himself. I also love this line of dialogue. He doesn't say this in the Japanese version, it's only in English, but it's simply amazing, so here.
That's a lot of bandages. You must have been hurt pretty bad.
Actually, I forgot my shirt. Grabbed these to cover up so you wouldn't get distracted.
Again, like, hearing Zoro goof off like this is just so funny to me. And this is definitely something he would say. Fucking cocky little bastard. I swear, a lot of English dub lines are seriously underrated. I feel like the English dub can have some really funny shit sometimes. I also love this scene that happens soon after.
She tells me to run, but I've got nowhere else to go but here. Besides, I promised Luffy I'd bring her back with me. Man, what's he up to?
Fishman sounds weird. Do they look like this?
Can't you focus for just 1 minute, please?
Is this closer?
That looks just like your last picture, only standing up. Oh, wouldn't it be great if Nami was a mermaid? I'd give anything to see that.
She'd look like this.
Tear that thing up or die!
Like, I like how he's just so chill, and him taking a shirt of one of the fishmen that he knocked down is just so funny to me. I don't know why it's funny, like, it just is. Like, just look at him, like, he's just sitting there. Like, that man does not care. He's chilling, he's got his fishman shirt on, like, I don't know. It just... I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain things, but it's something about this is just so funny to me. Another scene that I don't think I have saved, and it's a minor one, but I still wanted to mention it. I love the fact that Zoro's reason for wanting to stay on the island was simply because Luffy was staying. Again, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but the trust that these two have in each other is so wholesome. And again, keep in mind, like, these two haven't known each other for very long, but Zoro was willing to follow his captain anywhere, and I just really, really love that. And another thing that's also really admirable about Zoro is how angry he was with Nami after he had thought that he had killed Usopp, and was even willing to kill her to avenge Usopp. Zoro and Usopp have a really underrated friendship. Zoro so clearly cares about him. And going back to the whole gender thing, I like the fact that Zoro, unlike Sanji, isn't afraid to put his hands on a woman if it's necessary. This is the first arc where Zoro and Sanji really start to clash because of these different views, but seeing them work together and fight together was really cool. And then there's Zoro's fight with Hachan, which I already know that I'm gonna have a lot to say about, so I will try to make it quick.
Damn it. I can't fight back the pain. And my fever, it's getting worse. I thought I could walk it off, but...
Crap, I thought as much. You still haven't recovered from your fight with Hawkeye.
Zoro!
I swear to God, every single time Zoro gets injuries like this, it just tugs on my heart. Like, I know he's not real, okay? I know I'm cringy, I know he's not real, but like, I just get so sad. And even watching this scene back, even though I've seen it already, it was quite impactful. And the scene that follows this one is even more impactful.
Way of six blades? What a loser.
Way to go!
Let me make this clear for you, you sorry excuse for a swordsman. There's a certain man I have to face, and until I see him, death himself cannot touch me.
What is it then? What weight do you carry upon your shoulders? Speak up, weakling!
I'll get stronger! Stronger than she ever was, you hear me? Strong enough that my name reaches up to the heavens! I am going to be the world's greatest swordsman!
Three swords. 6 swords. Doesn't matter. You may have more swords than me, but mine will always carry more weight than yours. And obviously now I've had to rewatch this scene to put it in the video, and even today when I rewatched it, like, I literally got fucking chills. That's how impactful this scene was to me. It is crazy. Like, everything combined, the flashbacks, the voice acting, the visuals, everything is just so good about this scene. I hate this scene, but I love it at the same time. I hate it because I hate seeing Zoro in pain, but I love it because every single time Zoro does something like this, it only makes my respect for him go up. I know I keep saying this, so I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but Zoro's strength really is just so fucking amazing and admirable. It takes a really, really fucking strong person with a really strong resolve to continue standing after sustaining pretty serious injuries that would have killed a normal person. Zoro's resolve and strength really shines in this arc, and it's so impactful to see. But then after this, it gets even worse, but like also better because like I love this scene, but I also hate it, but I'm just gonna play it. この大層な包帯がどうしてどこかで転んだよなんだこの傷なぜこんな体で生きていられるんだなぜ立っていられるんだ
なんて目をしてやがる。これが死にかけの男の目か。こいつは今確実にここで殺しておかねばならん男だ。
おとなしくしてりゃ開かねえ傷もあったのにな。
そういうことだな。てめえでてめえがおかしい。
俺のことじゃねえよ。タコスケのことさ。言っただろ。このゲームは俺たちの勝ちだ。
I've seen this scene already so many fucking times, and I wish you guys could have seen the look on my face every single time I watch it. This time when I got to these parts, I had my hand over my fucking mouth. Like, Jesus Christ, this is probably one of the most brutal One Piece scenes. This is probably the most brutal one so far. And as sad and painful as this scene is, it's also so fucking cold and badass. Like, the fact that Zoro scared the shit out of Arlong, the man with the highest bounty in the East Blue, because Zoro was still alive after sustaining all of these injuries. Like, look at his face. That man is terrified. As painful as it is such a fucking cold scene. And then to see Zoro smiling after, like, I genuinely don't understand this man. Before you yell at me and say, oh, it's an anime, it's not supposed to be realistic. Yes, I know that. Truthfully, would it be possible for someone in the real world to survive those injuries? Possibly, but probably not. But even though One Piece is a world where people can sustain these kinds of injuries and live, it's still portrayed as Zoro being in an excruciating amount of pain. Like, how is he able to smile after this? Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I know he's not real, so it's like, oh, like, he's just a drawing. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm being cringy. I should just, I should move on and get to the next point.
It seems pretty big! Nice one, Luffy!
You're reeling in fast. Dial it down and we're gonna...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dumbass!
Bingo! So cool!
No, not this, not again.
Luffy, I told you to stop doing
Oops, sorry.
If you ever do that again, I'll chop you into pieces.
Damn it, Luffy! Would you quit gawking and get out of here already?
Oh, my bad, Eric! Hey, nice catch!
Damn you.
Then there's Logtown, which I don't really have much to say about, but it is one of the more chill arcs of One Piece, and so I do appreciate this one. I love the little scenes that Zoro has with Luffy. Again, I could go on and on about how much I love their friendship. Zoro just seems so much more relaxed and chill when it's just him and Luffy, and I just absolutely love their friendship. Like, I want to see more of just this duo. But anyways, this is the arc where Tashigi is introduced, and I think that her interactions with Zoro are really funny.
Where are they?
Hey, here you go.
Thanks, that's so kind. May I have my glasses? My glasses!
Oh, crap, I didn't...
These were really expensive. How could you be so mean?
It was an accident, I swear it.
You're gonna pay for those!
Wait, hold on, excuse me. Where are we going?
I still can't believe that you broke my glasses.
I told you, I'll pay you back, okay? Jeez.
You'll pay me back. You don't look like you have any money. Am I right?
Well, that's true. I am kind of broke.
I knew it! I can tell by the look on your face that you're pretty desperate. What is it? Your sick mother needs medicine? Or did your wife run away with another man and leave you all alone to raise the children by yourself?
Hey, hold on.
Don't explain. Just come with me. There will always be a job here for you.
Not a chance in hell. I don't work for Marines.
You can't leave now. I expect to be paid back for my glasses. Maybe after you finish cleaning the floors, you can work on cleaning up your attitude.
First, it was nice to see him try to protect Tashigi. That's something I admire about Zoro, is he doesn't really let women distract him like Sanji does. Like, Sanji will save a woman if he finds her hot, but Zoro will do it because it's the right thing to do. This is another scene that I already talked about in my other Zoro video, but the luck test, as I called it before, which is like a really bland and boring name, but I didn't know what else to call it. Again, Zoro is just really, really stupid, and I really love it.
Sounds great. Think I'll take it. Well, we'll see. How about we find out which one is stronger? The sword's curse or my good luck? take it.
Like, Zoro knew that he could have cut his arm off, but he's like so chill, like he does not care. Like, look at that cocky smile. He knew he was gonna pass the test. Like, me personally, it's probably just because I'm a pussy, but like I would be shaking. I would be like, oh my god, I almost cut my arm off. But Zoro just like, he just doesn't care. Like, oh well, I passed. Okay, sword's mine now. Like, so as stupid as I think Zoro was in this scene, I also do think it was his confidence and his bravery as well that played into why he decided to do this. And this scene had me on the edge of my seat. I thought it was very entertaining. And Logtown is always a fun rewatch, at least for me. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about Logtown, but I do really like a lot of the scenes in it. And it's a rather simple arc, but I appreciate it for what it is.
I'm back! Did you finish polishing my shigure? You're okay! I was worried about you. See, some Marines were attacked earlier right by where you had been mopping the floors. You were gone, though, so naturally I just assumed that you had been kidnapped. Thank goodness you're okay,
not very bright.
The fact that you're here means you must have run away. Sad, you really must have no idea how to accept love when it comes your way, do you? So here's your stupid money back. I don't need it. I can't accept money from a heartless ingrate. Besides, look, I already got some new glasses.
Then there's Whiskey Peak, which is called Whiskey Peak for a reason. Because it's peak. This is a Zoro arc, and it's the first one that we get in the series. I could talk extensively about why I love this arc, but it's mainly just seeing Zoro having fun and kicking ass. Again, I think a large part of it has to do with the line delivery, but I swear to God, like, these scenes are just so funny to me for no reason.
Hold it! Well, I guess they found me.
Time to die.
This Monday!
And that wine must have cost a fortune. What a waste, huh?
Well, that was fun. See ya!
I wouldn't be standing there if I were you.
Like, Zoro does not care. He does not give a shit. He's having fun. He's smiling. He's cracking jokes. I love it. I really love Zoro's more childish nature. It just makes him so damn endearing and fun to watch. He is like the most mature, immature character in the show. I like the fact that Zoro can just go from silly to badass in like 2 seconds.
Well, I guess you lost. Is that all you can offer, Baroque Works? Because you're gonna need to do a lot better than that.
I just cut someone's snot!
And before I move on, I just want to mention one more scene, the fight that Luffy has with Zoro. As funny and iconic as this scene is...
It's good to see you, buddy.
I still never really liked this scene because it is so out of character for both of them. Like I said before, Zoro has put his life on the line for Luffy so many times despite them just meeting each other. And Luffy has saved Zoro's life as well and clearly cares a lot about him too. And Luffy has seen Zoro's kindness and the way he is with other people, so for him to automatically make the assumption that Zoro killed these innocent civilians for no reason was just kind of odd. Like, look, I understand that Luffy's like kind of dumb and like so is Zoro. And I know that Luffy's naive, but it just doesn't seem very in character for him to automatically assume the worst of Zoro. But anyways, like I said before, I'm probably reading too far into this. I think that a lot of these scenes between these two fighting are really funny, and I like the fact that they make up so quickly. Like, look at them. It's like nothing ever happened. They're right back to their old selves. You ever see those memes where it's like girls not being friends anymore after one minor argument, and then it's like guys after trying to kill each other, and it's like they're like still best friends and stuff? Like, that's these two. Moving on to Little Garden. Zoro's childish rivalry with Sanji is really funny.
Hey, Zoro.
Hey, Sanji.
I am the winner. You've lost, damn it! See, I told you mine was bigger than yours. I win!
You should look closer. My lizard is much bigger.
What? Are you blind or something? My rhino is obviously so much larger than your stupid lizard is!
It doesn't really matter. They both look yummy.
Just shut up, Luffy! Yours doesn't even have horns!
What does that have to do with anything?
Size! Yours is puny!
Come on, children. How long are you going to fight?
What?
We don't need all of it anyway. Just cut up what we do need so we can get out of here already.
Right! Of course, Nami!
Hey, Usopp, would you tell him that I'm clearly the winner?
No, I really don't care.
Can't you just agree it's a tie?
I don't believe in ties. I fight to win.
Just hurry up, you two! Hold on a second. What are you doing? Are you?
Yeah,
Quit messing around. You're not going to cut your own legs off.
I'm not messing around at all. It's the only way to get us out of this situation. Are you in or out?
Are you insane? No way! Even if you get down from here, you won't get far without legs!
There's no way to know for sure until we try. So are you saying you'd rather just sit here and die? Why should we make it easy for those guys to kill us? Dying quietly without a struggle doesn't make you any less dead, right?
You're not serious about this, are you? How are you planning on fighting them afterward?
Who knows? But I plan to win.
Who are these people? They're completely nuts.
What kind of man is he? Why? Why do I feel like I've seen that look somewhere before?
Princess Vivi, sometimes it takes more strength to live than to die.
Wait! I'll fight with you! What?
Good. Get ready.
Don't be foolish! What do you want to accomplish?
Sorry, I know these videos are kind of long. I cut them down a little bit as best as I could. I just really love this scene and I wanted to add as much footage from it as possible. I really love Zoro's speech here. You might argue what he's doing is dumb because he doesn't have a plan after he cuts his legs off, but it takes a really strong person with a really strong heart to even consider doing something like that. I mentioned this earlier, but again, I just really love Zoro's optimism. Even after he gets knocked down, he always gets right back up. He's still such a strong character, inside and out, even after suffering humiliating defeats and near-death experiences. That's just so fucking amazing. Zoro usually doesn't think the worst in situations like this. He stays optimistic and continues fighting no matter what. We already know how loyal Zoro is. He refuses to die until he becomes the world's greatest swordsman, so there is no way he would just accept death like that. His recklessness has put him in danger multiple times, yes, but it's also saved him. And hearing him speak out and take a stand like this, fight for what he believes in, really made me happy. Just something about him is so special. People with these kinds of mindsets really are so amazing. Zoro has more courage and inner strength than I could ever hope to have. And also, I just love his personality here. I like how he just acts like none of it is a big deal. Nami's like freaking out. Like, how could you do something like that? Oh, there's so much blood. And he's like, well, just don't look at it.
Do you think you could at least do something about all this blood? I'm getting nauseous just looking at it.
So quit looking at it then.
I swear, Christopher Sabat's voice acting as Zoro is just the best. Like, the way he just sounds so nonchalant about cutting his own legs, and the fact that he's bleeding like crazy right now and is still smiling and cracking jokes is just the best thing ever.
Oh, you guys in trouble?
Nope, no trouble at all.
Wait, Zoro, your leg!
Yeah, I made it about halfway through, I'd say.
And how exactly is that? No trouble at all!
So, Luffy, what do you think? Could you go ahead and take care of this pillar for us? I think I've done enough.
Yeah, no problem.
Then there's these scenes of Zoro being funny as fuck.
Zoro, why are you standing like that?
If I'm gonna be a statue, I prefer this pose.
This is no time to be playing around!
Who said anything about playing? If you want to die in a cool pose, Nami, you better hurry up.
I got other things to worry about. Mr. Bushido, could you please take this a little more seriously?
Hey, your pose could use a little work, too.
Shut up about the posing already!
See? I told you should have posed, but you wouldn't listen to me, and now it's too late. You're gonna die like that.
Sorry to repeat myself, but again, I just love Zoro's sense of humor. He really is a kid at heart, and it's so endearing to see him act like this. I love the fact that he's portrayed as an incredibly strong and brave man, but also as someone who isn't always serious. As someone who likes to joke around and have fun, like any other 19-year-old would. Also, his personality is just straight up entertaining. Also, in this episode, we get to see Zoro use his flaming onigiri for the first time, which was incredibly cool and badass.
You know, these flaming swords aren't too bad.
Zoro!
Hey there, glad to see you made it out alive. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Ow! God, let go! I said I'm sorry! Come on! I don't have time to mess around with this! Cut it out, you little brute! Seriously, I do not have time for this! Seems I got lost. Looks like you got some pretty good timing. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. So, what are you doing in this area anyway, huh?
So now we're up to Drum Island. I don't know if this episode is considered like the end of Little Garden or the beginning of Drum Island, but I'm just gonna throw it in with Drum Island.
603, 604, 605, 606. Damn it all. If I only could have cut that wax, I wouldn't have left anyone hanging there. I'm so weak. If I'm gonna get stronger, I need to be able to slice through stuff like that from any stance.
This is another one of those Zoro scenes that tugged on my heart and made me really happy and really sad at the same time. This is part of what I was talking about when I said before that Zoro, despite having a lot of confidence and a big ego, still has moments where he's very insecure about himself. I really hate seeing him put himself down like this because he really does have so much to offer. The way he cares about his crew is so sweet, and the way that he pushes himself because he wants to be as strong as possible to protect them is just really wholesome, but also really sad at the same time. Like, I swear, somebody needs to tell Zoro how amazing he is and that he doesn't need to change at all. But anyway, even after that, Zoro is still goofy as fuck. I like that even after cutting his ankle, he's still very motivated, very silly, and goes right back to training immediately.
Huh? Now I can finally get back to some real training. I was getting sick of that modified training that I had to do with my stupid injury. Besides, just watching the ship is boring as hell. Maybe some ice water swimming will help me clear my head a bit. Freezing out here. My whole body is beginning to go numb. I feel more like a popsicle than a human at the moment. Looks like I have a lot more training to do. But if I really concentrate, I shouldn't be bothered by even the coldest temperatures. Hey, Karu! Wanna come in with me? It's a great way to get your little bird body in shape. I didn't expect to see this many fish here. Well, I've got more to do.
I swear, Zoro needs like a whole series just dedicated to him because the shit that he does is just so funny and so entertaining. Like, I would watch 1,000 episodes of just him doing stupid shit. So I don't really have a lot to say about Zoro's character in this arc. It was really just him being silly. He doesn't really have any major defining character moments in this arc, but these moments make me laugh and they're kind of silly in my opinion, so I wanted to mention them.
25,631, 32, 25,633. What's going on? What's all that rumbling? Whoa! What are you doing dressed like that in this weather? I've seen some weird old ladies in my day, but you're... And these cherry blossoms are like party decorations!
Come on, Chopper! Step out of it!
Oh, this is so warm! I really like this thing!
Now moving on to the arc that I'm currently on, Alabaster. There is a lot to talk about with Zoro in this arc because Alabaster is so fucking long, so strap yourselves in. This is the arc that Ace gets introduced, and as I mentioned before, Ace is also one of my favorite One Piece characters, and so is Zoro, so seeing them interact was really nice. These two are actually quite similar. I always said that Zoro and Luffy had very similar personalities, but that Zoro was a lot more reserved and serious, and so I feel like he reminds me a lot more of Ace. Ace is respectful, and still laughs and smiles a lot, and has that goofy personality that Luffy has. But he's a little bit more serious, I feel like, so that's why I feel like he's a little bit more similar to Zoro. But anyway, the arc before this, Drum Island, is when Chopper joins, and I absolutely love Zoro and Chopper's relationship. I think it's adorable. The familial bond that these two have is really wholesome. I love the way that Zoro acts with Chopper. He's sweet to the entire crew, but I don't know, like, he seems to have like a soft spot for Chopper. It's just a little stuff like Zoro giving him these small smiles and looking out for him.
Hey, you want some water?
No, thank you. I'll be just fine.
Hey, Chopper, you've managed to make it all day without collapsing.
Yeah, I'm trying hard not to.
I also really love this scene. It's like 3 minutes long, so I'm gonna speed most of it up, but I feel like it's important and I really do like it.
Okay, since Chopper can't smell anything, we know they aren't in that direction.
You don't know what you're saying.
Fine, then you can stay right here if you want to. Come on, Chopper.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, wait for me! You can't just leave me here!
Is Luffy gonna be alright?
It'll take a lot more than cactus to kill him.
Zoro?
What is it?
Is being a pirate always like this?
Like what?
You know, climbing mountains, crossing deserts.
I see what you mean. Well, we aren't really a normal pirate crew, and then there's our insane captain.
I'm wondering if maybe I got on board the wrong ship.
What do you know? I was just starting to think the same thing myself.
Hey.
Yeah?
You're the first out of everyone here to join Luffy's crew, isn't that right?
Yep, but the rest of them came on pretty quickly after that.
What made you join in the first place?
Why do you ask that?
I know I just joined, but it seems like everyone on the crew sort of does their own thing instead of really working together, especially you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I have my own reasons for being here and for joining the crew in the first place. It's like that for the others, too. None of us have the same goals in mind as Luffy does. We all basically do our own thing for our own reasons. It may seem a little weird at times, but it works for us anyway. It can look crazy. Like we have no idea what teamwork is. Especially when you look at our captain. He's a real handful.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But still, what is teamwork exactly when you get right down to it? Is it just about protecting each other and helping each other out? I guess most people would say so, but they're just fooling themselves. I think real teamwork is about more than that in the end. It's about individuals taking individual risks, if you ask me. You work together by working separately. You stand up and risk your own life. You do what you can, the best that you can, and then you turn to the others and expect the same from them. When you think about it that way, what's so wrong with everyone on the crew having their own agenda, you know? Well, that's my opinion.
I think I understand. So that's what Usopp meant when he said just do whatever you can.
It sounds like a cop-out coming from him, though. As for why I stayed on board with this crew, working beside him all this time has ended up giving me another goal to work toward.
So what's your new goal?
Sorry, I don't know how to explain that.
Someplace shady! Finally! Come! Nice and cool.
I should cut you in half!
Right, sorry about that.
I like that Zoro kind of became like a mentor for Chopper. Chopper is the youngest in the crew, so it's really nice to see Zoro take on like the mentor role for him and open up to him a little. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do feel like Zoro can be really hot-headed and make irrational decisions, but when you get him in a state where he's calm like this, he offers really good advice, at least in my opinion. This conversation kind of gives like an older brother talking to a younger brother or a father talking to a son, however you want to see it. I just think it's very wholesome. And this is just a personal theory. I don't know if this gets answered later on, but when Zoro says,
working beside him all this time has ended up giving me another goal to work toward.
I think he was talking about to keep Luffy alive and help his dream come true. But anyway, Zoro and Chopper are adorable. I really love the bond that these two have. I think it's really sweet. But anyways, moving on to Zoro with Tashigi. Tashigi makes another appearance in this arc, and seeing Zoro like scared of her is just so funny. It's probably just the voice acting, but like, look at this.
Hey Zoro, what are you doing?
Why are you hiding over here?
I swear that woman is nothing but trouble. Damn it.
No. Okay, and that was funny, and that was him just making a noise, right? Just wait till you see this shit.
Roronoa Zoro. I knew we'd meet again.
That voice. No.
I'm sorry. It's not that funny. It's funny to me, okay?
I've been looking for you. What do you think you're doing carelessly cutting down civilians like that? That's low even for you.
Look, I have my own reasons for doing it, all right? Besides, I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to fight you again.
We settled our dispute fine in Logtown.
We did not. I'm not through. I haven't even dealt you a single blow.
Oh, she looks way too much like her. And put that damn face of yours away, will you?
What did you say? You're insulting me? That's a really pathetic tactic. I'll make you pay.
She's the one person I can't handle.
I love you, Zoro. You are so silly. I swear, Zoro brings so much light and joy into this show. Like, Luffy's funny too. All the Straw Hats are funny. They have their funny moments, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Zoro especially, because he's one of the more serious ones. So seeing him like this is extra rewarding, at least in my opinion. Then once you pass around the episode 100 mark, I think it is, that is when the group gets captured.
If we don't do something soon, we're gonna wind up dead. And where are you sleeping?
Oh, is it morning?
It's afternoon, you moron!
Damn it, if we could just get out of here, I could handle those overgrown reptiles.
Oh man, you're really dumb, Zoro. We can't get out because the key got swallowed.
I know that, you stupid idiot!
And this is another scene where Zoro is doubting himself and his abilities.
Damn it, if only my swordsmanship were better, I could cut through this stupid cage. We'd be free.
I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's just so sad for me to hear, especially because I love Zoro and look up to him so much. So hearing him doubt himself is just really sad. I just feel really bad for him. The way that he cares about people and wants to be strong to protect his crew is just so admirable, but it's also just really sad. Like, I just hate seeing him talk down about himself like this. I also think it's really funny to see Zoro being petty that Sanji is the one who saved them.
Hey guys, been waiting long?
Yay, it's Mr. Prince! We're finally gonna get out of here now!
Thank you.
Well, don't just stand there, find the key and get us out of here!
Their childish rivalry has always been funny to me. Again, part of it is the voice acting, part of it is Zoro's facial expression, and I also just think the childish rivalry that these two have is just so funny.
I should call you dog food. Shut up! No, wait, sorry. You said you're not fit to be dog food. Navy, come here. Us pirates, ship, run away. Is that clear enough? Why are you talking like that? Did you hit your head or something? Sorry, I just thought I'd speak on your level for once. Huh? All right then. After this, stupid cook, die. Real funny. A swordsman without his swords is just, well, what? A normal guy, only labor. Maybe you should stay here. I don't want to watch you drown in your own nosebleeds.
You're just doing something you to stay ugly! Who are you coming up?
A little bit after this, Zoro saves Smoker's life and acknowledges the fact that he didn't want to, but he did it because Luffy told him to. This is just another thing that shows you how much Zoro trusts Luffy's input and will listen to his captain even if he personally doesn't want to do something.
Hey, Zoro, what are you doing? In case you forgot, that guy's our enemy.
Back off! I didn't want to do it, but he was about to die, that's all.
Whatever. We gotta get moving, guys. We will...
Why did you save my life?
Zoro, quick! You gotta save Smokey!
What? He's our enemy. He can take care of himself.
No, he can't! He's got devil fruit power, so he can't swim! He'll drown if you don't help him!
We're crying out loud, Luffy. Do I really have to do this? Oh, jeez. All I did was follow my captain's orders, that's it. So, wouldn't read too much into it if I were you. It was one of his crazy whims, pay it no mind.
They won't escape us, man!
Hey, you're not such a bad guy, Smokey!
Would you get the hell out of here?
Then a little bit later, there's a scene here. Dude, oh my god, I still remember I was working out when I was watching this scene and I put my weights down and I was smiling like an idiot, my cheeks were flushed, I had to pause, I had to do like a quick lap around my living room. I swear, he's so cute. I love seeing Zoro like this. It is just so adorable to me. Zoro really is a kid at heart. And in my opinion, he's probably got one of the cutest smiles in One Piece. And I guess seeing him smile like this is a little bit more rewarding than his usual like cocky smirks because you can tell this smile is genuine. And I just really love it so much. I love this scene. I think Zoro has a really cute laugh. And it's always nice to see him happy. A little bit after this, it was really, really nice to see Zoro becoming a sort of leader for the group while Luffy was away fighting Crocodile.
Crocodile will fail, Luffy will win. It's that simple. The moment that the rebel army started running, this land's final hour was set. Once the royal army and the rebel army meet, this country, the kingdom of Alabaster, will be gone forever.
Zoro is the first mate or second in command to Luffy, so it would only make sense for him to take over the leader role when Luffy is away, but still seeing him step up to do it still warmed my heart a lot, and I think it's a very impactful scene. Zoro is a very inspiring and motivational person, and so seeing him attempt to motivate the crew because Luffy was not there and reassure them that Luffy was going to win was really wholesome. Again, it also does show how much Zoro trusts Luffy. Now we're gonna get a little sad again. We're gonna go to another scene where Zoro unfortunately doubts himself a little bit.
Zoro, why don't you relax? You're just wasting your energy doing that.
Who asked you?
Excuse him, Nami. He's hopeless. Guys like Zoro, they gotta keep moving or they won't stay focused. They have one-track minds, especially our own resident muscle freak here now that he's had a taste of the 7 warlords.
Again, like I said before, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but it's just so sad to see Zoro being so insecure because he's really strong. Zoro may have an ego, but he still is rather insecure and is always pushing himself beyond his limits to try and do better for his crew. This is one of Zoro's character flaws though. He doesn't like to readily talk about his emotions. Before Alabaster, the only time he really pours his heart out to his crew is after he loses to Mihawk, and it was more of a message to Luffy and not the crew themselves. Despite having moments where Zoro breaks down, he still is rather reserved when it comes to emotions and doesn't readily reveal them. Zoro later tells Luffy in the show that if Luffy falters, who can they trust? So it's likely that Zoro believes that now that Luffy is busy, if Zoro falters, then the crew won't have anybody else to trust, so that might be part of the reason why he's being so dismissive of his emotions. Or maybe I am overthinking this entire thing and it's just his pride stepping in and him not wanting to look weak in front of the others. A little bit after this scene is the second real argument that Sanji and Zoro have, not counting their beef in Little Garden because that was like lighthearted. This is also the first time that Sanji calls Zoro Mosshead.
Just say what's on your mind, or shut up.
You need me to spell it out? All this tough guy bluster is just a sad attempt to mask your fear that Luffy might lose this one.
Who, me? You saying I'm scared, huh? Is that what you're saying? Look at me, fancy eyebrows.
That's it. I've had enough of you, you damn mosshead.
What'd you call me? You wanna go at it?
Cut it out. This is pointless. Jeez, strong.
I do believe that Sanji was right. That part of the reason why Zoro was so on edge is the fact that he was worried about Luffy, but I also don't think it was right for him to just like call it out. Zoro is clearly obviously very reserved about his emotions and doesn't like to readily talk about them. So for Sanji to just kind of throw him under the bus like that was kind of uncalled for, but it's obvious that Sanji was at least partially correct about Zoro's feelings given how defensive Zoro got.
Really?
I'll explain it again.
No, hold on a sec. Luffy's slow, but he's right not to be scared. Just hear me out on this one, and I think you'll agree. It's actually a good thing that we ran into Mr. 2 when we did, because now we can prepare, and we can beat him at his own game. If you ever feel like one of us is acting suspicious, ask them to take off this wrapping and reveal their mark. If they can't do that, they're an imposter.
Whoa. Having such a well-thought-out plan like this seems uncharacteristically smart for you. So how can we be sure you aren't already an imposter?
I'll stab you!
Yeah, that's him.
Whew. Definitely Zoro.
Where are the others?
No idea.
Huh? How can you not know where they are?
Pretty easily, actually.
Are you trying to be funny? You're laughing at a time like this?
Yes, I am.
Great, so we're lost again?
Yes, we're lost, and guess whose fault that is?
Is it my fault?
This is what you should have done.
That had nothing to do with it!
I am not up to post-time skip yet. I am only in Alabaster, but I still have seen several post-time skip scenes and I want to talk about some of them. The first thing I want to mention is Zoro's adorable reunion with Luffy. I talk about this scene all the time in my Discord. I rewatch it constantly. I just think it's so fucking cute. Zoro obviously isn't a very touchy person. He doesn't really initiate affection and seems kind of uncomfortable with it. And so seeing these two hug just really shows how much they care about each other. And I swear, seeing how happy Zoro was just so fucking heartwarming. But Zoro does become a lot more serious after the time skip, and the only things that can really make him smile like this are Booze and Luffy. So this is a really, really wholesome scene. Like I said before, I fucking love these two so much. They are so cute. The way they care about each other is so freaking sweet. Another funny scene I wanted to mention that happens post time skip is Zoro drinking with Law.
Hey, get over here. Ow. Another round? Yeah, anytime. Go!
As I mentioned before, Zoro becomes a lot more serious after time skip, and one of the only things that can make him smile is sake. It's always fun to see Zoro's more funny personality come out. I really like the friendship that Zoro has with Law. I don't know too much about their friendship, but I have seen some clips, including this one, and I think it's a good one. I think I'm going to enjoy it. So overall, Zoro has just been such an inspiring character for me. I love him a lot, and I honestly dread the day where I eventually grow out of my One Piece phase. I just get really attached to fiction, and I hyperfixate on it for months or years or whatever, and then I slowly phase out and move on to the next thing, and I don't like it. I hate to admit it, but that's sort of what happened to me with JoJo. Like, Part 5 and Giorno were like my hyperfixations for almost 2 years, and then I got into One Piece, and I slowly kind of drifted out of my Part 5 phase. And look, I understand that's how life works, and it's not that serious because it's just a piece of fiction, but it just was kind of sad because I had so much love for Giorno, and now I just don't really think about him that much anymore. I know that eventually the same thing will happen with Zoro and One Piece, and I'm dreading the day that happens. I don't know, fiction has always been kind of a form of escape for me. You have all these amazing characters that you love and look up to, and Zoro has been that character for me. I love his character, I love how caring he is. I love that he's mostly serious, but he has adorable moments where he acts his age. I love that he's a kid at heart. I love how loyal he is. He's such a sweet character, even if he doesn't show his kindness through words most of the time. He warms my heart and breaks it at the same time, and I just love him so goddamn much. And holy shit, we are finally done. I did not expect this video video to be over an hour. I had recordings of me talking about Thriller Bark and Water 7, but it's almost 9:30 at night, and I kid you not, this video took me over 14 hours to make, and so I don't feel like recording anymore. I love you, Zoro, and I truthfully feel bad about it because he is my favorite One Piece character. He's my current favorite fictional character, and so I wanted to do something special for him because I really care about him. But I'm sorry, I can't fucking edit anymore. I don't want to look at CapCut anymore, dude. But anyways, if you stayed to the end, thank you so fucking much. Holy shit. I didn't think anyone actually would stay to the end. So if you're still here, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot because I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this video. This is by far the longest video I've ever worked on. I mean, I did put a lot of work into it, so I really hope that shows. But anyways, happiest of birthdays to Zoro. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you in my next video.